What up party people, another day, another e-bike review, and today we are looking at the Engwe LE20 Cargo Bike. What do you get for your money? You get a 250 watt mid-drive motor, 7-speed Shimano Tawny gear set. On this model you have got two batteries, I think they're 912 watt hours combined, do the math on that. 112 miles range per battery, or 217, that don't add up, for both batteries. Front shocks on the front, mechanical disc brakes front and rear. They are 180s, are they? 180 mechanical disc brakes. Are they mechanical? Yes, they are. 20 inch by 3 inch wheels, which is lovely jubbly. Rider height. The ergonomics of this bike are fantastic. As you can see, Warwick Davis wouldn't nut himself on the step through, and Greg Davis could ride it because the seat height maximum now is up to my belly button. I'm 5'9" and a fag butt, by the way. Seat flips up, both batteries come out, lockable, lovely job. Flappy paddle handlebars, easy to read. Dewberry Firk, torque sensor in there. You've got LED lights at the front, lights at the back, no brake lights. Little bit weird, but that rear light does work with indicators. Remember to turn them off. Easy to navigate. Controls there, just up, down, menu. Wealth of information on the front. It's an e-bike. It has got 100 Newton meters of torque when climbing hills if you utilise your gears. I am 14 mile into my trip at the moment, and I've got to say this has been the most effortless ride I have ever done. It can take a payload of 200 kilos, 440 pound. Basically that is two of me and a case of beer, or 3/4 of a Gemma Collins. Comes in a range of different varieties. You can get foot pegs on here so you can take people with you. Comes with a cage around. You can get panniers, all different sorts of configurations. Look at that. Can't even get your legs trapped in the spokes if you are carrying passengers. Not a bad looking bike at all. The step through, it's the easiest step through I've come across. Got a centre stand, as you can see. It's very comfy to ride. Very comfy to ride. Now the batteries take 6 to 8 hours to charge each. You can get a step-up charger, which is an 8 amp charger, going on about 2.5 hours per battery. So if you are using it for stuff like bike packing, with that 217 mile range, let's knock that down to 150, because let's face it, that would have been on pedal assist 1. Nice lightweight 75 kilo bloke on a flat road, no wind. So even if you were to knock a quarter off of it and say 150 mile, that is a huge distance. If you can charge both batteries within 5 hours and a fast charger, think of the activities you can do. Just awesome, awesome. Find yourself a campsite with a hookup and away you go. I've slung my wife on the back of this and took her around. I'll put a little clip up here. Obviously she's about 5'7", 5'8", little bit of junk in the trunk, not quite as heavy as the fat lad. Absolutely zero problems going uphill. So let's talk about the power delivery. It has got a mid-drive engine. Love it. As soon as you put power down, you're away. Excellent, excellent bit of kit. What else do you need to know? It's got lockable suspension at the front, no suspension at the back, so if you are taking a passenger, their monkey stump might feel it. But for light young kids, if you've got the fold down foot pegs, gets rid of your need for a car, doesn't it? I'm liking it. Lovely paintwork. Yeah, same with the welds, bit of agricultural welding, but they're good healthy welds. Again, that mid-drive motor is awesome, absolutely awesome. I'll whip you around, let you have a closer look. Then I'm going to take you out on the ride footage, let you know what I think about the comfort, bring you in for my final thoughts. So as you can see there's your Shimano Tawny. You can't see the rear disc brakes because it's got the leg brackets on it. There's your seat and your normal seat. Shadow's getting in the way. Go down to that mid-drive motor. You've got a little doohickey there to keep the chain tensioned at all times. Coming across, let's go around the back so you don't get me shadow. You've got your LED lights, 180mm disc brakes, lockable suspension. You can put a basket on the front, bottle carrier on the back. Again, let's have a look at that mid-drive motor, which is a revelation. Battery that pops out. Not sure if you're going to be able to see the screen when I turn it on. Oh, yes you can. But it is easy to read in daylight. So I've done 13.6 miles so far, and I'm on 88 and 87 in the batteries percent. Been on pedal assist 5 the whole way. Indicators, don't really see the point in them. Let's see what they look like from behind. Can you see that? They indicate. Do you just press that to turn it off? Yes you do. As usual, let's see how this thing rides as a bike. Pulling away in second gear. Up to third. Fourth. Right way up to seventh. Absolutely zero problems, to be fair. For a heavy bike, not a problem at all. It's quite windy, so I apologise if you can hear wind noise. Yeah, seating position's great. Those 3-inch wide wheels, so that's 20-inch by 3-inch, make it a really smooth ride. Suspension on the front, nothing on the back. Seating position is brilliant, really comfortable to sit on. Pedaling like a bike on the flat, not a problem. No cars behind me. Handle's all right. Obviously the turning circle isn't great because of the length of it. We'll see when I go through a couple of kissing gates. The good thing with this bike is I've done the first little bit of the test and I've got zero range anxiety, because with the 2 batteries, that gives me, oh, those brakes need bedding in. With the 2 batteries, that gives me a range of 217 miles. So let's crank that bad boy up. That is instant as soon as you pull away. That mid-drive 250 watt motor is effortless. What I would say is I'm at 15.5 miles an hour. You ain't going much quicker than that, to be honest. That wind is biting. So we're coming up to our first 10% hill. And this thing boasts 100 Newton meters of torque from this mid-drive engine. So we'll see. I'm in 7th gear, pedal assist 5. And I just want to see how easy it is to get up this hill. To produce that 100 Newton meters of torque, you do have to cycle through the gears. So I'm feeling it a little bit on my legs there. Change down into 5th. Unbelievably easy. I am doing the lightest of light touches on these pedals. 12 miles an hour going up the hill. It's like it's nothing. The power delivery on this thing is brilliant. So far, I've only just started riding it. But bear in mind, definitely not the quickest thing. Up to 16 mile an hour. Bit too fast for me to be pedaling. Let's Let's just roll down this hill and see how it handles at speed. 30 mile an hour, no problem. As with all the other Engwe bikes, as stable as you like. So as we're coming up this hill, you do need to work the gears. You definitely need to work the gears, but as soon as you're in the right gear, this thing will climb the side of a house. Gotta say though, changing down gears when I'm pushing on the thumb lever is very stiff. You've got to put a lot of pressure on that. Could just be this bike. But either way, if you've got hand problems, or you know, you're a girl, you could struggle a bit with that. As usual, the brakes are back to front or arse about face, depending on how you want to say it. Front one's really noisy, needs bedding in. Back one's absolutely fine. Instant power pickup as soon as you put your thing down, lightest of light touches. Just approaching now a more gravelly bike pathy type setting, with a tight kissing gate up the top. This is where I may struggle. Nice quiet motor. Right, let's see how I'm squeezing through this bad boy. Sort of no problems. No problems, but I did knock my microphone off on a branch. It's that effortless that it is hard to find superlatives about it, because you're not going to hoon up here at 30 mile an hour. You're not going to be jumping over tree stumps, but you can go literally all day pedaling at 12, 15 mile an hour, uphill, downhill, wherever you like, in comfort. I'll tell you what the seat does to me Harris at the end. Oh yeah, those brakes. There's another kissing gate. Yep. Negotiated fine, and I kept my microphone on. Again, instant on the pickup. Some slightly rougher stuff. Really no issue. Really no issue. No throttle on this thing, as I say, it is strictly UK legal. I don't even think you can go into the settings and up the power. And with it being a torque sensor, it wouldn't really do you much good, because you've got to have pressure on the pedals to have the power onto the motor. But these mid-drive engines, motors, whatever you want to call them, let's whip up here. No problem. These mid-drive motors are phenomenal. Metal mud guards, metal pedals, flappy paddles. It's a nice place to be. Really is a nice place to be. With the added bonus that you can sling a massive load of weight on the back of it, do a bit of bike packing, delivery riding, whatever you like. It takes 200 kg of payload. That's two of me. With backpacks. Light backpacks, I'm a little bit chubby. All in all, a very good bike. I'll get off this gravelly stuff onto the road and I'll check its stopping power out. It is a heavy bike at 42 kilos. So let's get up to 15, get to that lamp post. less than 10 foot, bit of a skid on the back, and instant power. That's me pulling away in 7th gear on a slight incline. They work. Bit noisy though. So we're coming down the bumpy root-filled cycle track, where if anywhere this is going to let itself down. Front suspension seems to be doing its job. Here's a particularly bad bit. And I'm not getting hammered in the rear. You could definitely do some light off-road on this. Trails, obviously not herring through the Ulu, doing jumps and birds and stuff like that, berms even. You probably could if you know what you're doing. It's a really quiet bike as well. Doesn't have an obnoxious horn, has the world's worst bell, does work. But if you've got to fiddle with it to get it to work, you normally only need them in times of emergency. Might want to swap that out, which is weird because Engwe do a really good bell. Little things. It comes in a range of different guises, this bike as well. You can get folding foot pegs for the back when you're taking the kiddywinks or passengers. It comes with a cage to get over the top of them, so, you know, stop them falling out or getting creamed if you were to fall over. Morning. Or as this one came with panniers, but you had to remove the seats. And I didn't realise you had to unscrew them and take those side panels off before we started. And as you can see, it's very early in the morning. I didn't, but I have tried it with weight on and it's absolutely fine. Short steep hill here. 7th gear, no problem. It comes with built-in front and rear LED lights and indicators, but weirdly no brake lights. Don't know why. I have tried the lights and they're very bright. They certainly do a job. So to turn the lights on, you just press and hold the plus button and a little icon will appear on your computer screen. Lights aren't bright enough to overcome my sunglasses in the dark, but they work. Press and hold, and off it goes. So I am 10.5 miles into my trip. We've now got, I believe, about 7-8 miles of this gravelly off-roady bumpy stuff. Sitting at 91% on both batteries after 10.6 miles, and I have been in pedal assist 5 the entire way. It's the easiest I've done to date here. Not the fastest, not by any means. Definitely the easiest. If I were to be uber critical, I would say the addition of a suspension seat post would be welcome. I'm not getting battered in the rear, oh matron, at all, but you do get the odd knock. And one thing that has been on a couple of bikes is the pedal position. It could do with being a little further forward, because again, the arches of my feet are on the pedals rather than the toes. It's nothing too extreme, but it's something I'm noticing. If you are the tree hugging type and you've got to take the kids to school, this will definitely do it. You can get 2 kids on the back, not a problem. Shetland pony and a midget. Yeah, no issues. In fairness, if you're a tradesman whipping around London, you could get a fair amount of tools on the back. The only trouble is then, when you get the job, people will nick your bike and your tools, and you're buggered. I can't emphasise how easy this has been. Very pedestrian, but easy. They do such a variety of bikes, Engwe. You can be a hooligan, you can be a commuter, you can be a cyclocrosser, if that's a word. Just eating the miles at a leisurely pace. That power delivery is instant. There is something I want to check actually, because you've got to find negatives, haven't you? That noise is a negative. Yeah, the fact the handlebars can flip right the way around. So now, do they do that on normal bikes? Could land you in trouble, because it is quite a straight up rake of the handlebars. Zero issues handling this thing though. I'm literally trying to find problems. Is it worth going over these cobbles? It ain't too muddy. Let's do it anyway. I'll do it on every review. And as you'd expect, no problems. It's not wet, not muddy. Let's get up here. So coming up the pothole alley, some speed bumps. It's a speed bump, isn't it? Obviously you've got no rear suspension. The pedals hold your feet really well. They've got a strip of grip tape on them, as well as like a rubber grippy stuff. No spikes, but they really do hold your feet well. It's comfortable to stand up on and do what you got to do. Comfortable e-bike. Very comfortable e-bike. 13 miles in, my Harris ain't wrecking. Definitely ain't sweating or heavy breathing. And here we go, the real bumpy stuff. If this was my commute into work, I wouldn't be put off by it, even though it's a hardtail. Definitely not. At no point do the wheels feel like they're going to slip out from underneath me. Punch-proof tyres. All is good in the world. .15.5 is definitely your top speed though. Yep, we're on the bumpy stuff. Still not too bad. Still not too bad at all. The wind is blowing in head on straight into me. Quite windy. Bike still maintaining at 15 mile an hour with the most simple turn of my legs. There does seem to be a slight knock coming from the left-hand pedal, almost like there's a little bit of play there, so I may need to tighten it up. It's not constant. It could have something to do with the drive coming from that engine, motor, whatever you want to call it. Seating position wise though, yeah, I just parked up to do my intro and was surrounded by a group of mountain bikers that were going out on their Sunday jaunt. Drew a bit of interest. Obviously they was on all the Scott, all singing, all dancing e-bikes. Performance machines. Whereas this has a job to do and it does it fine. So one little thing to be aware of, and it isn't a negative, it's just a point I'm bringing up. If you're sat waiting across the road and you've got your foot on the pedal and you are putting pressure down, that torque sensor is picking it up. So it's sort of trying to go. You can control it, you can hold it with the brakes. It's not going to fling you into the road and, you know, kill a family of 5 or anything like that. But just something to think about. It's that instant. So to give you an idea of what I think about this bike. Currently, out of all the bikes I've tested, and there's been a lot, the bike I kept for myself was the Engwe Engine Pro 2.0. Torque sensor, hub motor in the rear, can get you up to 28 mile an hour, 750 watt motor. It does the do. Love that bike. Big fat tyres, etc, etc, folds in the middle. I'm considering swapping it out for this bike. And you might be looking at me saying, why? All right. When you're using the gears and the ability of the torque on this bike, it's unmatched by anything that I have tried before. The comfort, you can ride it all day long. The only thing stopping me at the moment is the lack of speed. But this is a UK legal bike. It's doing UK legal speeds. The fact that I can whack all my kit on the back of this and go on a proper adventure without even needing to charge it. I mean, if you can get 50 mile away from home on a bike packing adventure and 50 mile back for an overnighter, that's massive. Massive. If you've got the ability to charge every night, I mean, it's in the realms of doing John O'Groats Land's End on a push bike easily in 10 days, as long as you can charge each night. The quietness, it's a real good bike. But it's hard to say how good it is because there's nothing amazing or exciting about it. It just does what it's meant to do. We'll see how noisy it is when I go past these horses, if they kick me in the face or not. Passing on your right. No, no problem at all. It's a path for everyone, mate, isn't it? Enjoy. I didn't mean that. I hate horses. So another thing to take into account with these bikes is with them being mid-drive, when you change gear, the power is coming from the crank. So it is better to actually stop pedaling when you change gear than to do it while you're pedaling. Otherwise, you stand a chance of throwing a chain or snapping a chain or something. But again, this is a really steep hill I'm climbing up now. As you can see, I'm not going fast, but it's just plodding me up it as if it's nothing. Very usable bike. I am just shy of 20 miles in, and I've got to say, my dirt box, that ain't really a term I can use, is it? Me punger is feeling it a bit. It's not the worst I've had, but it is a bike seat. It's not entering me, it's actually on the cheeks of me Harris. Take away from that what you will. I hate bike seats. So pedal assist level 5 the whole way, 21 miles, and the battery's down to 80% on both. So that's coming in at 100 miles. Should I constantly go pedal assist 5. I've been attacking some big hills. I would say that the gear changing is a little bit clunky. That made me out to be a liar. But yeah, could do with being a little bit more refined. Could just need setting up by me. But again, I'm climbing up a hill currently, which I will be blowing. And it's just about to get really steep any minute. And as you can see, the old fat lad's a happy boy. So after this one, we've got the great big long hill, which I know there ain't going to be any problems with. I'm not going to take it down the little off-roady bit, because it's not an off-road bike. What would be the point? If you use your gears right along with the torque sensor, it's good. It's really good. If you're carrying kit, I'm going to have to strap something heavy onto the back of it and take it out again, just to see what it does. A real quiet, comfy bike to ride from Engwe. I believe they've got some massive sales on at the minute. Links and that down below. Might have, might not have. Depends when you're watching it, I suppose, isn't it? It's like it's not even there. Well, more 10 mile an hour. Gear 3. No effort. At least a 12 to 15% hill that. And change down when you get to the top. This is the only cargo bike I've used, so I've got nothing to compare it to. What I can say is, it's the best cargo bike I've used. It should take a lot of beating. You never know, there may be others. The old bike reviews are slowing down. Hey-ho. So here we go then, final climb of the day. Big long 10-12% hill. Let's get down into 5th gear, pedal assist 5. This bike, so what do I reckon? Saddle, 23 mile in, definitely know it's there, still not the worst. Speed, could do with an extra gear or two to get you above 15.5 mile an hour, whether or not it's with pedal assist, it doesn't matter. At 15.5 mile an hour, you're topping out with this bike. You know, ain't really a racing bike, but pedals could do with being slightly further forward, in my honest opinion. Other than that, there's not a lot to fault. The range of people that can ride it, short, tall, heavy, light, it's comfy, minimal effort. Yeah, come all the way up here, not one deep breath in. It is, as long as you're using those gears. Gears can be a bit clunky. Just need setting up. Brakes make a racket, but they're not bed in. I've really enjoyed riding this bike. As I say, I could, if I could get away with the seat being more comfortable, I could do hundreds of miles on this thing. Probably on 24 miles, 77% battery, pedal assist 5 the whole way. Enough said really, innit? I'm going to continue the last couple of miles home. I will see you for my final thoughts now. So final thoughts on this bike. Comfort wise, seat isn't bad at all, actually, to be honest with you. I would recommend a what do you call it, seat post, but you have got to worry about the little flappy paddle. The gears, bit stiff changing them, to be honest with you. Might work its way in, might only be this bike. But when you use the gears, hill climbing, that 100 Newton meters of torque, honestly, it will climb the size of a house. Zero problem. Really, really quiet. It is not the quickest bike you are going to ride, not by a country mile. 15.5 mile an hour is about your limit, but it will do that all day long doesn't matter where you're going. The 20" by 3" wheels, puncture-proof tyres, make cycling as a bike a lot easier. The ergonomics, as I say, is very, very good. The only downside is that sometimes you're on the arch of your feet in there rather than your toes. That could do with being shifted forward or the seat shifted back. Just by a knacker. It isn't the worst I've tried. Far from it. But I've got to bring it up. Centre stand is really good. I like that. Again, if you're bike packing. Brakes work. Brakes work absolutely fine. Battery life. What can I say? Now the weight. The weight of this bike comes in at, with the 2 batteries, 42 kilo, 37 kilo with only the 1 battery. It's pretty heavy, let's face it, but it would be. It's got 2 massive batteries in it. Handles absolutely fine. Lockable front suspension. Yeah, it does what it says on the tin. I really like it. I'm trying to find negatives about it. Yeah, I'm struggling, to be honest with you. It does what it is meant to do. Obviously, as I may have said, may not have said, you ain't going to go hooning through the woods. You're not going to be hitting jumps and doing endos. You could probably do an endo. I might give it a go in a minute. I'm enjoying this bike. Fit and finish, again with the Engwe's, you do get the industrial welds. Paint job is brilliant. A little bit pearlescent, a little bit glittery. Everything about it does a job. I'm a fan of the mid-drive engine. As soon as you put power down, you're away. I love a mid-drive engine. So there we have it, the Engwe LE20 Cargo Bike. I'm impressed, properly impressed. Until next time, ta-ra.